One, got Demetrius' eyes, got Jalen's eyes, got Jessica's eyes. Waiting on two. Alright. So this may have been hard for some of you guys because some of these words may have invoked a lot of feeling. And it may have been hard for you honestly because some of these things didn't invoke a lot of feeling and it's Monday morning. Right? But I need you guys to pay attention to both of these things. Just a second. I need you to pay attention to both of these things because in our text today, we will be encountering how Frederick Douglass encounters huge ideas and huge words that make him feel a lot of things, very, very deep things, okay? So pay attention to the way these things affect you. Does anyone want to share what they wrote about, either idea or words? Anyone want to share? Jalen, do you want to get started?
I told power because I said when you have power, you can do anything. You can change the world, like the whites changed the world when they had power. They had been in slavery, and that changed how things is now still. And I said King also had power because he was one man that made lots of people come and hear his voice and believe and look up to him.
That's awesome. I think Jalen brings in a good idea that power can be both positive and negative, right? We saw this idea of power in the text where the white slave owner, white woman, the wife, kind of got too much power and changed her views about slavery, right? So we're going to throw Jalen a prop right now because I like how he brought in both positive and negative. All right? So you guys want to do the slugger? You guys remember how to do the slugger? All right, so you're going to toss the ball. Okay. Slugger on two. 1, 2. Good. Who else wants to share? Rob, you want to share?
Yeah, where I chose education.
You chose education?
Yeah, because education, education changed a whole person's life. And in the past, African Americans were not allowed to learn and not allowed to have an education. And I said people can't survive without an education because people can take over them and they can do the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. You brought in ideas from the text too, right? Like Frederick Douglass was taken over because he didn't have an education. That's awesome. Justin, you want to share? Do you have a question? No. Okay. Sam, what did you write about education? Because I think you had some really good things too. Would you? All right, I'll come back to you. Mike?
I think the word power because we to have powerful words to encourage people or to make someone agree with you or be in your side. Like Martin Luther King had powerful words. So that's why people join with him and they agree with him.
So he had power.
Powerful
Kind of
words.
like the idea that Jalen said, right? Sam? All right, we're going to move on. But think about how these words or ideas affect you, okay? Think about this. So Rob already hit this, but some past ideas, like Martin Luther King Jr.'s I had a speech, right? Or even Hitler's idea of the Holocaust was an idea that changed the world in a very, very negative way, right? So have these things changed how you view yourself? Like some of these words, even think of an idea that you has changed your view of yourself. Do you guys think that these ideas change your view of yourself? What do you think? Think about this because this happens to Frederick Douglass. He completely changes the way he views himself. Okay. So in order to see how these words and ideas do change Frederick Douglass, we're going to be continuing to look at characterization today. All right. Can someone tell me what characterization is again? Arlene, thank you. What 3 things are we looking for when we're looking for characterization? Say that a little louder. What they do, think, and say, right? So, today's objective, students are going to be able to continue to characterize Douglass, look at what he does, think, and says, specifically articulating how Douglass's discovery of new words and ideas helps him refine his understanding of himself. So what sorts of things do you guys think we're underlining today? What sorts of things are we looking for in the text? Leonardo?
How to be good, and how to
So, specifically looking at what he thinks about his own life, right? That's good. He brought in like what he does in his life, how he thinks about his own life, and how he feels about his own life. What are some other things you guys think we're underlining from this, Jessica? Ideas, right? Ideas are words that are particularly important to Douglas. Okay? Good, so we're going to go ahead and open up the text. It's paragraph 9. Paragraph 9. Eyes on me when you're there. Bottom of page 23. Bottom of page 23. We'll wait till everyone's there. Come on, guys. Alright, I'm going to read the first paragraph, and we're going to go through what you guys think we'll be underlining, okay? I'm going to read the first paragraph, and then you guys are going to get a chance to answer the questions together. So, paragraph 9. The plan which I adopted, and the one by which I was most successful, was that of making friends of all the little white boys whom I met in the street. As many of these as I could, I converted into teachers. With their kindly aid, obtained at different times and in different places, I finally succeeded in learning to read. When I was sent of errands, I always took my book with me, and by going one part of my errand quickly, I found time to get a lesson before my return. I used also to carry bread with me, enough of which was always in the house, and to which I was always welcome. For I was much better off in this regard than many of the poor white children in our neighborhood. This bread I used to bestow upon the hungry little urchins, who in return would give me the more valuable bread of knowledge. I used to talk this matter of slavery over with them. I would sometimes say to them, I wished I could be as free as they would be when they got to be men. You will be free as soon as you are 21, but I am a slave for life. Have not I as good a right to be free as you have? These words used to trouble them. They would express for me the liveliest sympathy and console me with the hope that something would occur by which I might be free. So if you guys want to open up your packets to the first set of questions, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to answer these as a group. Like I said, pay attention to what he does, thinks and says, okay? So in this section, we see how he works to learn to read, right? And think about what that tells us about Frederick Douglass, okay? Think about what that tells us about Frederick Douglass. So you guys have 4 minutes to go over the first 4 questions and your partners, okay? Go ahead and get started.